welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we are watching episodes 116 and 117 of Bleach. I am getting worse and worse at remembering which episodes we're on. We're getting into those episodes today, and I feel like we're going to get into some of the more action and stuff, because the last couple of episodes, we had a little bit of action in there in terms of like fighting the Arrancars at the beginning of episode 114, and then in 115 we had Ichigo fighting a hollow that Rukia like threw him basically at, and kind of gaining back some of his confidence. But I felt like it really focused more on like setting up information and like having characters be in the right place and stuff like that. Like, it feels like there's a lot more like strategizing and like maneuvering people be in the right place at the right time in these last couple of episodes. Whereas I feel like these episodes that we're getting into today feel more like they're going to be more action-based, because it looks like the Arrancars that are under Aizen's control or on his side are making their way to Ichigo's hometown. So it looks like we're going to meet some more of those and probably have to fight them, because they don't seem to be the most passive of creatures that we have encountered in the Bleach universe. And also Aizen seems very interested in Ichigo's existence, not even to mention that we have a bunch of Soul Reapers from the Soul Society that have showed up in Ichigo's life again. So it looks like we're going to see some more of these Arrancars, see some of these Menos that have been like transformed into Arrancar. We got a little bit of information at the end of the last episode from Toshiro that was about how there are like 3 levels basically to Menos, and we've been dealing with kind of the lower end, the Gillian group of Menos, and there are like higher ranking ones. So I think one of the Arrancars that we saw before, out of the 2 that came, I think one of them is like the highest one based on like him, because his mask, his like broken mask that he has like a horn on it, and when we saw like the silhouette of what this higher Menos was, that they I think also had horns, and they're like smaller and a bit more like human like sized as opposed to the other Menos. And I know that like Arrancars kind of take on humanoid forms a little bit more because they are like becoming more like Soul Reapers. So I don't know if that alone makes him one of these higher Menos, but I think he is. I won't even try to say his name because here, well, I'll let editing me put his name up, but I'm not even gonna try, because I can read it, and even when I'm reading it, I'm like, how do you say it? So we had some hijinks ensue with all of these Soul Reapers showing up at Ichigo's school. It was good to kind of have some comedic relief, you know, kind of have some laughs, get to see the personalities of these characters and kind of have them, you know, get to be their goofy selves. And it's, you know, it's kind of a weird juxtaposition to have these like trained fighters in a high school just kind of showing up and trying to blend in but not doing a very good job at it. Like Ichigo like had like a wooden sword with him because he was like, I can't bring a real sword, but I can't be without a weapon. And I'm like, you're supposed to be a high school student. You should not have a weapon. So it was fun to like, you know, get to see them just kind of be over the top versions of themselves for a little bit to get some of that comedy, because I do feel like we're gonna get into some more serious stuff. And I feel like it was a nice kind of wake-up call for Ichigo, because Ichigo has not been doing great for the beginning of this arc. He has been dealing with this hollow that's inside of him that is, you know, constantly kind of getting into his thoughts, fighting to take over his body, giving him a hard time in general, and really making him feel like he doesn't have control over himself. And because of that, he isn't like giving 100% to being a Soul Reaper, fighting hollows, protecting his friends. And because of that too, he feels like when his friends get hurt, even any time that we've seen in the past, any of the episodes previous to this, if any of Ichigo's friends get hurt, he takes that in a very personal way, and he's very much a protector. Like that's why he became a Soul Reaper. That's why he like does anything that he does. Like even before he became a Soul Reaper, he was protecting that like little memorial for that one spirit that we saw in like the very first episode when we met him. So he's always been a protector. So even when anyone gets hurt and he feels like he can't do anything about it, he gets very upset. But I feel like because he doesn't feel like he has 100% in control, that he can give everything that he has into fighting and protecting people, it brings him even more down, because he's like, I could have done better. Like I know I could have done better, but because he's fighting this hollow inside of him, and he's like afraid of it taking control and getting out, and him not having control even over his body, like he doesn't know what it'll do when it kind of goes wild, because Ichigo is very aware of his surroundings, aware of people around him when he's fighting, because he doesn't want anyone to get hurt. But the hollow doesn't care. Like the hollow's just gonna try and like kill the thing that is in front of it, regardless of what damage happens around it. So he definitely wants to make sure that he doesn't let that hollow out, but because of that, he's always holding back a little bit. He's always restraining himself, and because of that, he isn't fighting to his full potential, which means when people get hurt, he feels even more guilt than he normally would, because he knows he's not giving his everything into the fight. So it was good to have, some of his friends show up and kind of be their goofy and chaotic selves. And, most importantly, we had Rukia coming back and giving Ichigo a good kick in the right direction, and, showing that she's doing a lot better too, because we saw her being in a really dark place for the Soul Society arc. So to see her back to her kind of aggressive, chaotic self, drawing pictures to demonstrate complicated things, I love that. I love seeing her back in her element, back to being more of herself, and using that to help Ichigo get through some of his darker times too. So it looks like for this episode we're gonna get some more of these Arrancars showing up. We know that Aizen has 20 of them. Now I did have some discussions in the comments about like what exactly those like Arrancar were made from, like what class of hollow they were. I took the implication that they were like they were Menos that had been transformed into Arrancar, and more importantly that they were like the highest level of Menos, because we had Toshiro talking about them specifically and how they're powerful enough, like one of them is more powerful than a captain, and that if Aizen has like 10 of those on his side, it means that the Soul Society is like screwed, like they will not be able to win that fight. And then to have a scene following it where Aizen was like, here are 20 of these people these Arrancar that I have at my disposal, I took that as like an implication that they were all that. But like, fair enough that some of you brought up that like they're not necessarily all like Menos that have been turned into Arrancar, and they're not necessarily all like the highest level of Menos. So I guess we'll find out exactly like what their power set is, how powerful they are, because it looks like they're showing up, and Ichigo and his friends and the other Soul Reapers with him are gonna have to really show their stuff and see exactly where everybody's at. I hope we get to see Toshiro fight some more, because he kind of got smacked around by Aizen last time we saw him, and I didn't really get a chance to like see him like full on fight with like Bankai and everything. So I'd like to see that. I like to see Renji fight. I love seeing him fight in general. I think his Bankai is really cool. I like that he's just here. Let's just get into episode 116 and see what kind of mess we're about to get into. In 3, 2, 1, go. I want to say that I'm like excited and ready for this fight to happen, but also I'm probably not. Like, I feel like whenever I'm like, yeah, let's see some fighting, Bleach takes that as like a challenge to like rip my heart out. So I don't know if I'm ready. Especially since it was made pretty clear that like, you know, like Ichigo and Sado and Orihime like aren't strong enough to fight Arrancar. They just aren't. So it makes me nervous that like having a bunch of them show up is like not gonna be good. I mean, Yoroichi did a really good job at fighting them, but I don't think she can fight like a bunch of them at once by herself. I don't know how much help Urahara would be, because I haven't really seen him fight yet. But yeah, he did not do super well in that fight. Yes, 3 classes. Yeah. It's an interesting lighting choice on Aizen there. Like, it's a very bright, soft lighting. Like, there's something, like, almost angelic about it, and I don't love the implication of that. Excuse me? That's a new and slightly disturbing power. Oh, hello. I know you're probably evil, but nice hair. Is that so? Yeah, Ichigo's power's never been the most stable or like reliable. I love the strings. Like the guitar. Oh, gone. It is a bit gross. They're just doing it to see if they could. Aw, poor Gon. That's what I asked. Good point. That's true. She probably won't say no. She'll be like, okay, if you just show up. Yes, that is what is going to happen. I love how Toshiro is like the youngest, but he has the most old man energy. Okay, so Renji's gonna stay with Urahara. Is it about how he put his device in Rukia and you might get a bit angry at him? Because... She's just gonna sleep in his closet again? Oh? You can smell it? Tatsuki. Yeah. She's dealing with some stuff too. You know, almost died. Seeing her friend go through some stuff. Being kept out of the loop. You'll get stronger. I believe in you. My boy, how you doing? Are you still with Urahara? To heal? Oh no. She make up a sob story. The crazy thing is like, Ishin probably knows exactly who she is, and he's just being a ridiculous, ridiculous person and playing along. I know, have a third daughter. Karen probably also knows who Rukia is. Oh, he saw it? That's interesting. Does that mean that he has some power? Oh, hello. It's blue-haired guy. He looks like he's gonna be trouble. I like his character design, though. She's still healing. Oh. Poor Orihime. Is it Shiro? He's like so put out for this whole thing. Like he literally just came because his lieutenant was like, we gotta go. Gotta talk to somebody, Hime. No, you're not. You just have a different way about going about it. I don't know if gentle is how I would describe her, but oh, I don't know if that will actually cheer her up. Oh, true. See, that's what I said. You're just different. True. You're like questioning your feelings. Are they there to try and kill Ichigo? True, all of the Soul Reapers are there now from the Soul Society. There's a lot of backup for someone who said that he could kill Ichigo by himself. What's that face? A window. Oh. Oh. I love Soul Reaper's like fascination with the living world's food. Like juice boxes. Was it? Doesn't she cook really weird things? Is Toshio just hanging out on the roof? Too cool to join in? To get ice cream? So he does have some. Um, Asano. I didn't know that he could see things like hollows. Interesting. So it looks like next episode we're gonna get into uh some fights, which probably will last for a while. What is Ishida doing? Is he okay? I know he's with his dad. Is he okay? I worry about him. So it looks like we're going to get into the fights with these Arrancars in the next episode, kind of starting off. I think we're gonna get a lot of like kind of little individual fights because there's like uh 5 Arrancar, I think 5, maybe 6 that are there to fight, and we kind of have like showed all these different groups of like spirit pressured people, so it looks like they're kind of gonna split up and we're probably gonna get a bunch of different fights that are going to be happening over the next few episodes, but really dealing with some of the like character moments, specifically like Orihime, and I like that in the last episode we were dealing with Ichigo dealing with the fight with the Arrancar and like him having to deal with like, you know, not winning and getting beat up a lot and watching his friends get hurt and feeling weak and inadequate and all that kind of stuff, and in this episode going more into Orihime's response to that, which, you know, a similar thing is she's a protector, and I've been saying that for a while. Like she's not a fighter in the way that like Ichigo is. Like she just, and like not in a bad way, I'm not saying she's in a fighter in like a she's not strong way, because I definitely think she is strong, but she just doesn't have it in her to like hurt people, even like regardless of who they are. Like she doesn't have it in her to hurt people. It's not who she is. She's a protector and a healer. So for her to feel as if she can't protect her friends, is also something that she struggles with. And I think also the fact that she isn't a fighter, she feels as if she's reliant on other people, specifically Ichigo, and she feels like she wants to be stronger. She wants to have that kind of like fighting instinct so that Ichigo doesn't have to get involved. She would rather him not get involved in fights that are going to end up hurting him because she doesn't want to see him hurt. But also, like, I think she has to come to terms with the fact that she's not a fighter and like lean into her strengths, which is, you know, shielding people and protecting people and being more of a like defensive and like helping people who are doing the fighting. I feel like fits her a little bit more. I think she has to just kind of fit into that, and you know, even her talking about her jealousy of Rukia, and I know it specifically was like the way that Rukia was able to like get Ichigo out of his funk, but I feel like also part of that is just that Rukia has like a very like straightforward, aggressive, get things done kind of attitude, whereas like Orihime is she has more like empathy and compassion, and I feel like she's a softer touch to like accomplishing things. Like she is able to like comfort people and, you know, bring them joy and be a really good and supportive friend, but she just does it in a more gentle and compassionate way than Rukia does. So I feel like just in this instance, Ichigo needed someone to like literally kick him into action, whereas like in other instances he needs something that's more like an emotional support. So I feel like it's not a great comparison, but I also like that she acknowledged that like it's like not a good thing for her to be jealous of. Like she's jealous, she acknowledges that that's how she feels, but she also knows that it's a little bit ridiculous to be jealous. So I like being able to see the complex thoughts that Orihime has been going through, and I like seeing her just be a more dimensional character. So I did like spending some time to just like see Orihime's reaction to the event and like see how she's going through it before we get into like the next fight. So really like that character development. Yeah, we got to see some of the other Arrancars, we got to meet some of them, see kind of some of the dynamic between them. There seems to be some animosity and what have you, which doesn't surprise me because we saw that with the captains in the Soul Society too. It looks like a group of them has gone a little bit rogue, gone against what one of their superiors thought was best, and now we're gonna get some fights, which I am both like excited for because I like seeing the fights, I like the action, I want to see some new abilities and like see what kind of power sets we're gonna be dealing with, but also you guys know that I don't do well when people get hurt, so if anybody almost dies or does die, I am not gonna be doing super well. So, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm gonna grab Totoro and let's watch the next episode. In 3, 2, 1, go. I'll probably be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Everyone is just gonna, you know, prove how good of a fighter they are, and it'll be fine. Still have my blind open. I get distracted by outside if I have my blind open. I know what I'm doing, it's fine. Mm-hmm. I remember that um Yoruichi like hurt her arm and leg, right, from fighting Yami. Grimjo. Is that his pronounce his name? Grimjo? He seems a little bit intense, but I do like his character design. Fight, fight, fight! So there were six, okay. Which includes some people in your life that have no idea, like, what hollows are. Better not be coming after my boy. He is still healing. He wasn't even at school today. Ooh, so he has a mod soul? Interesting. You got this. I believe in you. His, like, hollow mask reminds me of Mayuri's hat that he has. Ooh. So Renji has one, Ikuga and I can't remember his name. Orihime left some of her little creatures there for him. Seto has one. Does he have... Okay. I was wondering if he had Gunjo. But you didn't. Mm. He's probably not doing great with the whole he got beat up and almost died multiple times. Yeah, and not feeling strong enough. Is she gonna fight? Oh, we haven't seen her fight in like so long. Like she hasn't gone Soul Reaper because Ichigo had her power. Oh, I'm excited to see her be a Soul Reaper again. Oh, I'm excited to see her fight. I mean, I wasn't there for that, but sure, I'm willing to accept it. Is the Arrancars just like standing there waiting for them to go through this exposition? Is he just like, no, tell your story, it's fine. That would have been something else to have that spirit being soul inside of Ichigo. See, there you go. I'm like, he just sort of like stood there and let them talk. Yes. Show me your zanpakuto. Ooh. Ooh, that's cool. Why do I feel like she's a trick up her sleeve? Aha! Not restricted to the ground. I didn't know that she would have like ice associated with her zanpakuto. Oh, Ichigo. Oh. Ooh. Did we win? It is real pretty. Oh. 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 Byakuya? Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Who is it? Is it Grimjo? So she did end up killing him. Good job. I don't know. They both seem like they're pretty good. Delinquents. I think they're a little bit more than delinquents. I worry that we're focusing on him because that means something is probably about to happen to him. Considering he has like some spirit pressure. That makes me nervous. Oh. Does he think he's just like a films? Like they're just filming something? Not with all of the hollows and other stuff going on. He thinks he's in a TV show. That's ominous. Is it the flying creature we saw before? No! Ichigo! He's hurt! Ooh. Boy, you are about to get introduced to a very chaotic world. Is that what you're negotiating right now? Aww. Something to fight for now, I guess. Beat him up. Fighting music coming in. Oh, that's gonna be a good fight. Look forward to it. Good job with Rukia, though. Because we haven't seen her be a Soul Reaper since episode 1? Yeah, because at the end of episode 1 she gives her power to Ichigo. So it's been a long time. I mean, it looks like she maybe did some fighting during the, like, Bount arc that I skipped over for now, but This looks like it's the first time that Ichigo has seen like her release her Zanpakuto, so it's pretty cool. Similar to Toshiro's, right? Because his is like water and ice and hers is like snow and ice. Okay, what fights are we getting into in the next episode? Okay, so only needed Totoro a little bit. A little bit in that one. We were just sort of getting everyone into their fights, kind of seeing which Arrancar was fighting who. I'm a little bit sad we didn't get to see more of Rukia fighting Diroy? Yes? The one that she killed, like we just sort of saw her like freeze him and that was it. So I mean, it was cool to get to see her like actual Zanpakuto and like get to see her use her ability and kind of see what she's like as a fighter, because we haven't gotten a chance to see her fight as a Soul Reaper because she gave her power to Ichigo so early on in the series and like hasn't had it after that point. I guess I wanted like a longer fight to kind of really get to see what she's capable of, whereas this was just kind of like a little sneak peek. We'll probably get to see more of it now that the blue-haired Arrancar has shown up. Is probably going to fight with Ichigo and Rukia now, so we'll probably get to see some more of like what exactly she can do, which means she has a Bankai too, right? You guys know that I love Bankai. We're gonna be focusing more on Ikugu's fight and the arrogant one who's also from his squad. I can never remember his name and I feel bad. Editing me will like put a thing here probably of what his name is. So thank you, editing me. We're gonna see their fight with one of these Arrancar and probably focus on that. I feel like it's kind of gonna be like at the end of the Soul Society arc, and we're seeing like lots of little fights and we kind of focused on each one, so I'm sure we're going to get to see some new power sets. The Soul Reapers like from the Soul Society have also been training and like getting better. I don't think we've seen Matsumoto actually fight yet, because she went up against Kira briefly, but we didn't really get to see her fight him. We kind of like skipped over it because there was like some other intense stuff going on, so I would like to see her fight some more and really get to see what she's capable of. I'll also be interested to see like what kinds of new abilities come out of Arrancar, because like there has to be like hollow kind of power sets, right? Like things that are like abilities that hollows can do because they're hollows, and then like mixing that with like Soul Reaper abilities. So I feel like there's gonna be like some new tricks and stuff. I'm sure there's also like some stuff about Soul Reaper abilities that hasn't been revealed yet that like I just don't know much about, because really the powers, like the abilities that have been focused on the most, I feel, are the Zanpakuto and like the abilities and powers that come specifically from Zanpakuto, as opposed to like the other two ability sets like Kido and stuff. So I feel like maybe we'll get to see some of that and some of the like mixing of those abilities and stuff. I really want to see some more of the Arrancar just in general, to like see what they're capable of, and like, you know, they're supposed to be more powerful because they've like broken that kind of like roof of what like the top level is supposed to be for these abilities. So I'd like to see like what kind of new abilities, new kinds of tricks come out of just like not having that limit, having a different, like having more power above like what that limit is, like what just a Soul Reaper would be capable of, or just a Hollow would be capable of. So I feel like I'm gonna be very stressed for the next few episodes. I feel like it's gonna be fights and people getting hurt and like pulling in other characters like Ichigo's classmate, you know, other people who have like spirit pressure being pulled in to the confrontation who like might not even really know what's going on. Like I feel like the fight between Aizen and the Soul Society is really gonna bring in a lot of people. Like it's gonna affect a lot of people who like really don't know anything about what's going on. Like Tatsuki is probably going to get pulled into this confrontation in some way because she has spirit pressure and she's like connected to Ichigo and Orihime, so I feel like that's gonna get pulled in. I don't know what Ishida is doing. Still training to get his power back? Still trying to be a Quincy? Does he know what's going on? Does his dad know what's going on? Is he gonna like weigh in at some point? Is he okay like emotionally? I worry because he's with his dad. So I just want him to be good in general. I feel like I'm asking a lot of questions. I feel like I'm gonna be like a mother hen for the next little bit because I just want everybody to be okay. Everybody to be happy. It's gonna be an intense next few videos, but I hope you enjoyed watching these episodes along with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!